Welcome to the show that brings the outdoors to your living room, Outdoor Sports, with your host, Jeff McKenzie. This week on the show, we're going to do interviews with members from the Parachute Club, the Outing Club, and the Hang Gliding Club. So hang on to your seats, we're going for a ride.
Hello and welcome to Outdoor Sports. You know, when people think of sports, many people think of basketball, baseball, and football, but there's a growing number of people who are into adventuresome sports like snowboarding and skiing. Today we're going to be talking to 3 people from the UMass club area who represent various outdoor sports such as these. But first we're going to go to a little bit of the mountain biking scene with yours truly. So let's take a look. Mountain biking is one of the fast-growing sports of the 90s for many reasons. It's a challenge, it's fun, it allows you to get outdoors, and it allows you to see Mother Nature as it was intended. Mountain biking is a new sport, so it forces you to get into some new equipment if you haven't tried it before. The first thing you're going to want to check out is the proper clothing. A helmet is mandatory mountain biking. As you can see here, a helmet takes a hard blow. That allows you to take falls that you wouldn't survive otherwise. Also, the pants you wear are a little different than ordinary street pants. They feature padding and a sleek look to help you get through those tight corners. Mountain biking also features a different style of bike than a road bike would, obviously. The bike is set up to be in the mountains. This requires knobby tires, as you can see here, to help climb up hills and take fast corners in the dirt. This isn't required on a road bike. The brakes are also set up to allow you to stop on big downhills hurtling out of control. They're strong, responsive, quick, and really nice. The gearing on mountain bikes is also a little bit different. On a standard 10-speed, obviously you only have 10 speeds. Here on a mountain bike, you have 21 gears, which allows you to climb up big hills and go down big hills as well. Pretty fast, I might add. Mountain biking is a fun thing to talk about. As a matter of fact, I could probably talk about it all day, but I'd rather do it. There's a lot of outdoor sports that scared the living crap out of me, but skydiving is no different. Here today to calm a little bit of my fears is Rob Desletz. That's how you say your name, isn't it? Rob Desletz, who is the president of the UMass Skydiving Club. Welcome to the show, Rob.
It's nice to be here.
Well, tell me a little bit about your club there and about skydiving in general, maybe.
Okay, we're located in the Student Union. We're the oldest collegiate skydiving club in the country. We were founded in 1957 along with the United States Parachute Association. We offer 3 forms of beginner skydiving: accelerated free fall, tandem, and our most popular is the static line. On the static line progression, your first jump for $140, you exit the aircraft. A 12-foot cord immediately deploys your parachute, and you're talked to the ground by a ground instructor speaking to you through a speaker in your helmet. Following your first jump, you progress your way up to free fall, getting higher and having a longer free fall every time. And after you complete a certain sequence, you take a test, and you're considered a novice skydiver. From then, you can jump on your own. You don't need a jump master present with you, and you can pretty much jump on your own.
Your first jumps are pretty much controlled not only by your parachute being pulled, but by an instructor from the ground.
Yes, you're on the radio, your whole student status, on your whole student status. And once you complete that sequence, you can jump on your own, and you get you'll get a license.
So there's a good amount of training that goes in before you're actually going to go jump out of a plane.
Yes, there's about 12 hours of training, and we'll meet for 6 hours on Thursday night on campus, and we'll meet Sunday morning right at the airport. You'll do your ground training, you'll take a written test, and you get in the air with your jump master.
So you do training here at UMass?
Yes, we'll do the classroom at UMass and the ground training up at the airport, which is located in Turner's Falls, which is about 15 minutes north of here, right up Route 63. We also have demo jumps. You'll see us, the students will see us out by the campus pond. You'll usually see me out there with a loudspeaker shooting my mouth off to everyone. And we'll have 4 jumpers exit the aircraft right over the pond. And they'll usually do a nice 4-way, and they'll break apart and pull their parachutes, and we'll announce them one by one.
Now, has anybody ever done like a cannonball into the campus pond?
No, but a friend of mine, Todd, who you'll see in my video later, surfed the pond when he was coming in for a landing. He surfed the pond and he misjudged it. He landed right in the pond. It happened last year.
That's probably not the best place to land.
No.
Especially around here. Well, how long have you been jumping for?
I made my first jump last October. I made 3 jumps before December 6th. It's usually December 6th weekend is usually when we end. And I made the rest of my jumps from May through now, and I have 70 jumps right now.
70. Wow. Yep. Oh, and I understand we have a little video footage.
Yes, this is my 50th jump, and my friend videoed it, and it's nice. It's a nice rush.
So it's your anniversary jump.
Yes.
That sounds good.
My anniversary jump.
Let's take a look at it.
All right. All right.
Well, that's you right there, isn't it? Those are some nice specs you got on there, Rob. Can you get those at any drugstore? Or?
Anywhere, You see, there's Todd right there. This is 10,000 feet. It's probably about 20 degrees up there. It's nice and cool. That's usually the jump aircraft we take.
Now, how many people can jump out of this plane at once?
It holds 4 people and a pilot, which when you're talking about students, it's a jump master, a pilot, and 3 students. And the student would get right out on the wing like Todd is and jump on the static line, but we decided to do it a little funner way. I'll stable out here and check where the cameraman is, and the cameraman's stationary. Right now we're sub-terminal. Takes 10 seconds to get terminal, and that's about 120 miles an hour. In the stable position, if you put your arms back, you can go up to about 200.
Wow.
It's nice. It's fun.
So if you threw a penny out, right, and you both went for it, could you catch it?
I don't know. Let's try it. There's a nice little turn, and I'm going to come back over towards the cameraman, and there's Todd floating around out there. Checking my altitude, you'll see me looking at my wrist. I have to be open by 3,000 feet. And I'm going to look, reach, and there goes my parachute.
So you signaled to before you open the chute?
Yes, you have to signal to when you're in a big formation. you have to signal, because if there's someone over you and you dump your parachute,
They're
there's
in trouble.
problems.
Yeah.
There's big problems.
Yeah.
We also have a reserve parachute, which is packed by FAA licensed riggers. And I'm getting my rigger rating in next January.
So how do you go about actually learning to pack the parachute? Is that a whole nother course?
No, it's involved in the static line progression. You're learning free fall, you're learning how to fly your body, and you're also learning how to pack your parachute. The sport is about flying your body through the air. It's not, parachuting's just a little thing you have to do at the end. You know, parachuting's, it's kind of fun. The real fun is when you're doing relative work or freestyle with other people. That's when it really, really gets fun.
Yeah, no, I understand you've done some work with that, done some bigger jumps when doing some formations. And
yeah,
stuff like
I've been in a couple formations, and we have some big planes like you saw at the beginning of the video. Not my video, the video before. We have 2 caribou that come in June and August.
Now, aren't they endangered species? How do you get a
caribou?
license to get aboard one of these?
You can pay for it.
Oh,
pay for it.
right.
It holds 47 people. It's got the back door. It's like a tailgate plane. The back door opens about the size of a garage. You can go out 4 people next to each other, or you can just start at the back of the plane and run and dive out. Exit altitude's about 13 grand. You can get a nice 70-second free fall.
Now
nice.
is that about maximum? What's the longest free fall that's possible? I mean,
Well,
I suppose you get up there and lose oxygen eventually.
Yeah, over 14,000 feet, it's required by the Federal Aviation Administration. You need oxygen in the aircraft. That's over 14,000, so we can go as high as 14,000. Then you just need oxygen. One of my jump masters has made a jump from 17.5.
You must get quite a free fall from that.
Yeah, it's great. You can't tell you're falling that fast, though, unless you pass by a cloud. You have nothing relative to you at all. It's not like driving a car when you see trees go by.
Now I saw some footage of some guy jumping with like a snowboard attached to his feet.
A friend of mine that's tough. It's really tough. A friend of mine's going to start doing that now, though, and he just bought a snowboard. It's nice.
And you can just...
It's called air surfing.
And it doesn't take any kind of special snowboard to do that?
No, I don't think so. It takes a lot of skill, though. It's tough. You need at least 1,000 jumps.
That's
over 1,000.
That's quite a few.
Yeah.
Well, I understand we have a little bit of footage here from pro skydivers.
Yes. This footage is a video we show when we're in the campus center. We have a table set up in the campus center, and it attracts a lot of attention.
This features the multiple people jumping out of one of the bigger planes.
Yes, this is the type of plane we jump out of. You know, it's a tailgate plane, but it's very similar.
All right, let's take a look. We're back now with Roger Von Kreis, who is the president of the UMass Outing Club. Roger, welcome to the show.
Hi, Jeff. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you also. Now, tell me a little bit about the Outing Club, Roger. What does it feature?
Well, the Outing Club's one of the oldest RSOs on campus, and its function is to expose people to a great variety of outdoor activities they might not normally have the means to try out, such as caving, kayaking, whitewater rafting, whitewater canoeing, rock climbing, ice climbing, maybe hiking spots they didn't know about.
So you guys do quite a bit.
Yes, a wide variety.
Variety of sports. Now, do you have different leaders for all these kinds of trips, or do you have a lot of people who are good at everything?
Well, we have some people who can lead a great variety of trips, and for each area, the club's divided into subgroups of different activities, and there's a chairperson for each area, and they're the people who make sure that leaders for any particular trip, like the the whitewater canoeing chairperson will make sure that whoever's taking out a whitewater canoeing trip is qualified to lead that trip. But other than that, there's no particular qualifications for leader other than having that. You don't have to, as long as the chairperson okays you, you're in. And then basically the way the trips are run is just when people will decide, it's fairly random. It's people will decide that they want to lead a trip, and then they'll just go out and they'll figure out where they're going to go and what they're going to do, and then they'll just announce at the meeting, and they'll put a sign-up sheet in our bulletin board, and then it goes from there.
So it's these trips can end up being pretty creative, I guess, if it's not very structured as to what exactly has to be done. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, you can. There's different combinations.
So
of trips.
how does it get decided what exactly is outing? I mean, there are probably some things that people have wanted to do that don't quite fit in with the outing club scene, like perhaps nude sunbathing or something like that. How would you decide if that really is outing club material?
Well, people intend to come to the club with those sort of ideas in mind. They sort of, look at what we do, and then they work from there. I mean, usually people don't join the club and as being, say, trip leaders. They'll usually go on a few trips, and they'll get more and more involved because they want to go on more trips. And then eventually, that's how I got, for example, that's how I lead caving trips. And I started off as a beginner, and I got into it, and I went more and more, and I accumulated the experience to be a trip leader.
Now, I know you have a pretty big reputation on campus as being a caving kind of guy. What was it about caving that attracted you more than this other variety of things the outing club has to offer?
Well, I think part of the thrill of caving is the uniqueness of it all. It's this environment that's unlike anything else you experience anywhere. Just the forms, just the whole sensation of it's like another world. It's not like all the other activities. Like if you're whitewater canoeing, you could get a similar experience. You could be in a similar environment as if you were whitewater kayaking or rafting or whichever. But with caving, it's a singularly unique experience that you're not going to get anywhere else.
Now, what about taping yourself inside a cardboard box? Would that be considered similar to caving, or?
No. The claustrophobia is really a small aspect of it that only affects a few people.
Were you ever affected by claustrophobia, Roger?
There's been a few points where I was crawling through there's some fairly tight passage that I was going through, and it was a little claustrophobic. Because, sometimes...
I can imagine it would, there'd be times when you're kind of stuck in between here and there, and you might not...
yeah, you start to wonder...
Might not like it so much.
Yeah, there's points definitely when you wonder how small how small a hole you can really fit your body through.
Do you ever surprise yourself by fitting through a hole smaller than you thought you could?
Yes, on one occasion there's a passage that was, the ceilings just sort of kept going down, and there was a spectacular room on the other side apparently, so I just kept going, and it got down to being about this tall, and it just sort of squeezed through, and I looked back at it, and I just didn't even think my head would have fit through, but...
Yeah, your head is quite big.
Well, thank you, Jeff.
I mean, with that hair and all. Well, what are some of the other features of the outing club? I know you do hiking, and you mentioned you do some cross-country skiing and things like that. What do you offer anything on campus that you don't have to travel for? I know you do a lot of traveling.
Well, most outing club trips involve at least a small drive of some sort to get to the... I mean, in terms of on-campus activities, we have a Monday night meeting every Monday night in the campus center where trips are announced and just general announcements pertaining to club business are made. Like if someone's selling something or someone's, wants to go on a certain kind of trip and wants to know if anyone else is interested in maybe doing that. And there's also usually a slideshow relating to some sort of an outdoor activity. For example, this last Monday at the outing club meeting, there was a slideshow, a very good slideshow of some people from the club who this summer had gone down the whitewater rafting down the Grand Canyon, and they had slides of their trip. So you sort of get to see what's out there.
So then once, say, you go, you like what you see, you decide to join, what does it take? Is there a lot of expense involved? I know a lot of our viewers are college students with about as much money as a street rat. What
the outing club is pretty much a bargain in terms of outdoor entertainment. It's for a $5 membership per semester, you have access to rent all of our equipment, and then you go on all the trips. And the cost of the trips is only essentially food money. You usually get pizza on the way back, and you usually bring a lunch, and also gas money for the driver, because we don't have any set we don't rent vans or buses. We do the carpool thing where that's how a lot of times trip limits are determined by how many people it would be safe to have on the trip, and also how many people can drive. Because there's been times where we could have taken, say, 10 people came, but we only had transportation for 8, so we only brought 8.
That sounds like you might think of investing in some vans, buses, a helicopter, something like that.
Yeah, but then the costs start getting up.
That's true, and it is a bargain already, so it'd probably be good to keep it that way. Well, Roger, I see you brought some stuff with you today. What did you bring with you?
Well, I
sort of brought
a sampler pack, Jeff, of the equipment our equipment locker has to offer, and also some of the gear you'd see on a club trip. This would be a good introduction to that. We have the Yachting Club has an equipment locker in the campus center basement, which that's the other service we provide to the community. If you're a member, you can rent out our gear for your own personal trip. So if you want to go cross-country skiing and there's not being a trip offered, you can just rent the gear and go on your own trip, And we rent out all of our gear with the exception of our ice climbing and our rock climbing gear because of the liability involved with having, if the rope gave out or the the protection gave out or the table gave out. You just have to we don't want to cover that kind of liability.
Now, what would you do, Roger, if the table fell apart on a trip? Say this was a trip emergency.
Well, we usually tend to bring extra gear with us on the trip, just to make sure that happens.
All right. Well, why don't we see what we can do about this here, and we'll come back and talk to you a little bit more.
Okay, great. That sounds excellent, Jeff.
Okay.
Be sure to tune into Outdoor Sports next week as we investigate cow tipping. And also, Jeff McKenzie, another on-the-scene report as it goes all the way to Badlands National Park to take a look at the new sport of all-terrain golf. That's next week here on Outdoor Sports.
Well, we're back now. We've seemed to have gotten things straightened out here. Roger had to split a little early. He was detained by that falling table incident. But now we're back, and we're here to talk a little bit about hang gliding with the president of the Hang Gliding Club, Steve Rivers. Hi, Steve.
Hey,
nice of you to come today. Well, let's talk a little bit about hang gliding. How did you get started in the club, and how did you get involved?
Well, a while back when I was in my senior year of high school, I was really getting interested in aerial sports. I was really looking into them, and I found out that UMass had a club of their own. So I was really excited about it. In my freshman year, when I first started out, I was talking to my roommate about it, and we both got interested. We showed up to a Wednesday night meeting, and we got hooked.
That sounds good. And how, if someone else had similar experience, similar enthusiasm, what do you do to get into the club, find out about it?
It's fairly easy. We have a bulletin board right across from the Student Union Ballroom, and that tells you when the meetings are. And if you show up, it's usually on a Wednesday night about 7:30. You come to the meeting, you find out about everything that we do. You can ask questions. We show an informative video, and we give a big talk about what the first beginning lessons entail.
And how do those start? If you decide that it's something you want to pursue, what's the first step of actually getting into hang gliding?
The first step is having a strong desire to fly, and after you have that, you take the rest right from there. We go to a flight park. It's called Morningside Flight Park. It's located in Claremont, New Hampshire. It's about an hour's drive from here. They have many instructors there that'll help you along. You start out on the flats after going through an hour of ground school, and you just proceed from there. You get hooked up with equipment and helmets and get assigned to a glider, and you start running it down the hill, and that's how you start off with your hands-on experience.
So it's you can pretty much get right into it and get into the actual flying. There's not a lot of on-the-ground schooling time, as opposed to skydiving, which seems to be you need to get some school time in before you can actually hit it.
Yeah.
Because you're jumping out of a plane. On this, you're starting on the ground.
Yeah, that's right. Because you don't have to go up there and know anything about it. You just have to have the desire. And then once you're up there and you get a little bit of ground training, like I said, it doesn't really get in depth. It's just like the tip of the iceberg, and it's mostly you work on experience first, hands-on training, and that's how you start in hang gliding.
I understand we have a little bit of video from an actual lesson and how
That's right.
how some people have gotten started.
Yes.
And this is from the New Hampshire flight from the.
Yeah, this is from
training ground?
Morningside Flight Park. You'll see it's a great site to learn.
Is this? Did you learn at this place?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
All right. Well, let's take a look.
Okay. This is a beginning pilot. He's just taken off from about the 120-foot mark, and he's making a few turns and setting up for his landing. I'd say he's been flying for about a year, could be less. It always depends on how dedicated you are and how many trips you make up to Morningside.
So that was quite a little flight there for,
Yep.
For a beginner.
Yes.
So do you? So it takes about a year to start actually getting in the air and getting some flight time.
Yeah, like I said though, it really depends on how dedicated you are. I mean, some people do it in a year, other people can do it in a matter of 3 weeks. Like if you're up there and if you're really enthused about it and you get yourself into the habit of, all right, well, I got to go up this weekend because it's decent weather, I'm going to really get into it, then you could do it much sooner. It all depends on the person.
And as far as your learning goes, how long have you been how long have you been hang gliding?
I've been hang gliding now for about 4 years. And I feel I'm doing really well. I've been progressing from glider to glider because our club owns 13 gliders ranging from beginning to an expert pilot, and which makes it easier for people to join because then you don't have to spend as much money in buying your own gliders as you go along. So
how are those? Those seem like they would be pretty expensive. How much would a glider cost if you wanted to go out and buy one?
Oh, a beginning glider could cost anywhere from like $450 to $700, and more experienced ones could go up to about $3,000.
Wow.
Of course, I mean that's brand new, but yet when you join the club, then you're able to progress from gliders. You're not buying this one now and another one later. You're learning on ours, you're making mistakes on ours, and then you go and buy your own.
So you can come and break all your equipment
Exactly.
and then go have your equipment all nice. That sounds good. Like wouldn't be such an expense.
Oh yeah.
Now, as far as the where you go flying, where is there a variety of places where you go around here, or do you travel to fly?
Well, right now what we have been concentrating efforts on is making it up to Morningside, because up there you have a full range of people who have anywhere from a Hang 1 to a Hang 4 rating. And now that's given out by the United States Hang Gliding Association based on skill and competence. Now, you'll go to Morningside and there's people flying off the 450-foot cliff launch, and there's also people flying off the 50-foot slope launch. So, I mean,
so there's more to Morningside than that we saw.
Oh, much more. And there are flights around here. Maybe people have seen them at Skinner Park, Deerfield. There are sites around here, but those are strictly for people who are like Hang 3s and Hang 4s, up at the more advanced spectrum. So you want to start off at Morningside, because they have a lot of people there that'll help you along the way, instructors that'll give you a tip if you're like messing up. And then when you get your Hang 3, you'll say, well, hey, I know what I'm doing, I have this rating, I'm competent to fly other sites, and then you sort of like graduate to places like Skinner.
Now, have you been any other places around the country at all? I'm sure there's probably a lot of great places to fly and different vacation spots. You could make a whole trip out of it.
Yeah, well, me personally, no. I've pretty much stayed around Morningside to get that sort of atmosphere, because I still consider myself a beginner, and like I said, I'm not as gung-ho as a lot of people because I have a lot of other things going on, but there's some people that can dedicate more time to it, and they'll progress quite quickly. Myself, I stay around Morningside, but there was a person who was just recently left, the previous president, and he went to places like California, Arizona, down to Georgia. He went all over the place and flew, and he had some great experiences there.
I can imagine there's probably some picturesque places to fly.
Yes, there are.
All right, well, we're going to end off here with some professional hang gliding, I believe. Is it?
Yeah.
And where does that also take place there, or is this at a different
No, that's not at
location?
Morningside. I believe that's in California, and they're just doing it's like a convention where people just meet and fly and compete. And
all right. Well, we'll take a look at that. I want to thank you, Steve, for coming on today. I want to thank the rest of our guests for being here today. And remember out there, have a good time and be safe.